shoulder, and then you can execute the task. Recommended speed would be, in this small roundabout, keep it around 10 to 15.
I have been a driving teacher for around 7 years. So mainly what we help the students with doing is we help them with the theory classes, how they have to understand the basic rule of driving here in Denmark. If you're starting as a fresh student and you want to take your driving license, so basically you have to find a driving instructor, driving teacher who can give you some theoretical classes where you attend 29 mandatory theory classes. The theory classes, you will know about the basic rules of driving here in Denmark, which thing you need to be aware of when you're driving on the roads. And then you have to take some driving classes with the teacher as well. But first of all, you need to find the teacher, join the school, and once you have joined the school, the teacher will give you some theory classes. Then you have to attend compulsory closed round where you have to spend approximately 4 lectures, which is 3 hours. And at the closed ground, you will be learn the basic things of driving, how to start the car, how to adjust the mirrors, how to take a seat belt on, doing some basic exercises, reversing the car, moving the car forward, lifting up the clutch if it's a manual, if it's an automatic, try to brake softly, doing some 8 circle exercises, reversing back, those kind of things. So you know the basic things of test as well. So the practical test is where you have to sit with an examiner, like for example in a car here, which is a school car, where we have some extra pedals, and it's like installed with the speed camera as well. So the examiner will be sitting next to you here, and then you're gonna be going out for a short drive or for approximately 30 to 40 minutes averagely. And in those 30 to 40 minutes averagely, the examiner is basically gonna see whether you can be driving safely on the roads. So he can be taking you to the motorway, he can be taking some couple of left turns, couple of right turns, and he can bring you into some residential areas where you might be doing some exercises.
We have Arun here out for a test drive here today. So what we're gonna do here today is we're gonna get in the test area here. I will be driving around with Arun, and then we're gonna get to see some of the difficulties which might be in the area where the test is gonna be here. To get a little bit familiar with the area where with the difficulties there might be, so it makes it easier for the students when he's gonna get to the test, so he know the place to know. Okay, good. Let's this is the parking lot where the test is held. So let's move out of the parking lot here and let's get started. Okay, with both sides. After the bottle container, just follow along the fence on your right side. And that would be moving out of the test center here. When we're moving out of the test center, the examiner can either ask you to take a left turn or he can ask you to take a right turn, depending on the examiner where he wants to go. Let's take a right turn here at the crossing.
Vehicle approaching on the other side, so I'm waiting.
So you have absolute give duty when you're moving out of the test center here. So you need to be looking both sides here, just to make sure it's clear.
Yeah.
And then we can exit. Okay, let's take a end of the road. Let's take a right turn.
End of the road.
Yes, please. start moving the car closer to your right side. I would recommend you to stop up, check both sides, just to make sure that it's clear. And when you're turning right, then you need to be looking on the right side as well, just to check whether there might be some cyclists on your right side. Now you can see when you're approaching further, then you can see there's a continuous line, but if there's not space enough, then you can get slightly over the line as well. The distance is more important than the line here. So it's completely legal here to get over the line if there is not space enough. Yeah, and during the practical test, Arun, if the examiner doesn't say anything, that will be straight, or otherwise he will let you know well in time whether you're turning left or right. Okay. And you're approaching further, and you can see 30 signboard here. That was written approximately 100 meter ahead. 30 zone is starting. It's a recommendation, but basically you have to try to follow the recommendation.
So if it's in blue color,
yeah, it's a recommendation. The round one, the red one, is a restriction. So if you end up going 34, 35, it's not an issue here, but basically you have to try to follow the recommendation. Traffic light, turn left. Now Arun, it's a T-junction here, so there's no oncoming traffic towards you here. So once it's gonna get green here, then your focus should be on your left side where you're about to turn. So once it's gonna get green, and then it's also gonna get green for the pedestrian crossing over there. So your focus should be on your left side where there might be some cyclists, or there might be some pedestrian which wants to cross the road over there. Then we're going to be taking a right at the first side road. Start focusing already on your right side here. Check over your blind spots, and then you can execute the turn. Further ahead, then you can see another 30 signboard. That means again it's a recommendation. Now a car is coming towards you. Let's slow down a little bit. You have to make an orientation here as well. This is a change of placement here. And once you're moving back again, then you have to look again on your right side. Start with the mirrors and then turn your head as well. So checking the blind spot or making an orientation is not only the head turning. We have to look at the mirrors as well, and then we have to look over your shoulder as well.
So we start with the mirror and then...
then we start with the mirror. Basically it's the mirror, and then you have to look over your shoulder. After the obstacle here, then you can see side road which is coming on the left side. Let's take a left at the first side road. I'll still be looking straight, and we'll be looking at the left side where you're about to go. A lot of times, Arun, we need to be looking several times. It can happen one day that the situation suddenly changes. So you'll still be looking ahead, and you're looking on the left side. You're looking left, straight, so you're looking both sides. End of the road, let's take a right. A little ahead, all the way up to the sharp teeth.
You have vehicle approaching on the left side.
Yes, and it's important here that you are not breaking your absolute duty. Yes. So nobody should be forced to be stopped because of you here. Let's move a little bit ahead, then we're going to be taking a left at the traffic light. Traffic light, turn left. And if a car is slowing down, then I would just recommend you to slow down behind him instead of crossing the continuous line, getting over the scrap line like the other one did over in front of you. Traffic light, turn left.
Turn left.
Yes. And I would recommend you to move into the left-hand track a little bit.
In advance?
Before.
Okay.
So the traffic behind you doesn't start to move in already. Otherwise, you will end up making a lane change right in front of them. Still keep focusing on the oncoming and your left side.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
This is clear.
Good. And usually a lot of these recommendation signboard or the speed signboard is usually in the beginning of the road here. So when you're turning into a new road, then just be aware of the signboard that might be coming. Traffic light, turn left. There's no side road, then you can give your indicator well in time, so the traffic behind you know where you're going, and place yourself inside the junction where you're keeping the car straight. Still, you need to be aware of if someone else is turning left, so there's space enough for them as well.
Yeah.
So right now you're focusing at the oncoming traffic, and you should be focusing at the traffic light as well.
Yeah.
Again, look over your shoulder as well.
Yes.
And then execute the turn. So we are looking straight, and we are looking on the left side where you're about to go. Take it over the center here. This is where you're gonna feel the speed breaker less. It's gonna be much more softer. So we also stay here, Arun. Basically, we can be continuing. We don't have to stop off for anyone coming from the right side.
Why?
It's absolute give duty. Absolute give duty means they have to stop for you here. You can see the surface is changed, the elevation is changed here. You're moving from cobblestone into another surface, so they have to stop for you. You have like an overall view when you're passing by, but of course, unless if anyone is like forcing themselves out, then we will of course put the brake. But otherwise, we will not start slowing down and stopping for them. They might think you want to wait for them. And just try to keep it over at the center of the speed breaker here. Traffic light left, please. Slow down a little bit here. The reason why we are approaching, and in this situation the obstacle is on your side, that means you have to stop for the traffic which is coming towards you.
Traffic lights to the left.
Left, yeah. Focusing with your
Oncoming, there's no oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
During
You
this
can
turn.
execute the turn.
Yeah.
Just make sure there's no one on the pedestrian crossing as well,
Yeah.
so you don't start to turn towards the pedestrian. If the pedestrian crossing is not clear, then you still have to be waiting in the center.
So now that's a 40 with the red circle on. Is it
Yes.
mandatory, right?
This is mandatory. You cannot exceed 40.
Okay. So only the blue, then I can.
Yeah. Just keep it in the center.
Or you're not taking right anymore.
Over here. Just gonna go straight ahead here. Yes.
Sorry.
No worries. If you end up mistakenly during your practical test, end up in the right turn track, then just take the right turn.
Okay.
It's minor mistake. Misunderstanding can happen for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you suddenly end up going in a right turn track and you suddenly want to drive, you end up driving straight. That would be a major mistake.
If I accidentally.
If you accidentally end up in the right
Can I
turn
still go
track,
straight?
no, you can not go straight anymore. But then just take the right turn. The examiner will give you a new direction. He will let you know afterwards where you have to go. Yeah, just be watching the person, and it's a good idea to have a little bit distance to the to the cars on the right side. A lot of time people might be opening up the side door, or if you can see somebody have just stopped on the right side, a lot of time people don't notice, they just open up the door and move out. take a left at the traffic light here.
It says who's 50? What does it mean?
It's just the commune have put a signboard here, so you remember to be driving 50 in the area.
So we take the right?
Let's take a left.
Left, okay.
Yeah, over shoulder. So right now, while we are waiting, our main focus is on the traffic light. And right now we are looking at the traffic light, but when you enter the junction, then you have to look at the minus green signal over there. When there's no light in the traffic light over there, that doesn't mean it's not working. It means it's green for the oncoming traffic. It can be a little bit difficult to understand that one, but it's just showing what the other traffic is having. They're having green right now. Is it clear for you?
Yes, clear.
If it's clear, then you can execute the turn. Otherwise, you have to wait until it's yellow to prepare yourself. Red, you have to clear out. Okay, let's take after the turn, after the speed breaker here, and there's a slightly road is turning. Let's take a right at the first side road. When you start moving to the right, give the right indicator. Yeah. Here you have to look as well. This is a changing of placement. If you're moving from right to left, and we are looking at our blind spots as well, and when you're coming back again, then you have to make an orientation to your right side again. It could have happened that somebody was coming on your right side. Here I would recommend you to slow down, because you're having an absolute give duty. Mainly you have to stop for the traffic coming from both sides here, and try to stay within the line here. Yes. Of course, if there's obstacle here, then we can cross the line a bit.
Yeah, they have absolutely right.
Yes. And when you're pulling the car back again to your right side, that's an orientation again. So look at the mirrors and your head. And do you remember what we have over here?
Yeah, right hand give way duty.
Exactly. Right hand give way duty means that you have to stop for the traffic coming on your right side. So keep the speed around 8 to 10, slow down, check if anyone is there. It's not a complete stop like we stopped up here, but just to give you an explanation of if there's a car, cyclist, scooter, whatever might be coming, they have to go before you. You can see the surface is same here. There's no sharp teeth here, and you're inside the residential area. So a lot of right hand duty can be coming in these types of road here. End of the road, turn right. And if the pedestrian is walking, we're just gonna slow down, let them go over. And after the pedestrian is gone, then you can stop on the pedestrian crossing here. If you don't stop on the pedestrian crossing here, you will not be able to see. So we have to stop up here and then try to check on your left side here. Mainly what you have to think is that you're not forcing anyone to stop. Is it clear?
Clear.
And just check once again, just to make sure. Traffic light, turn left. Right now there's one car inside the junction. We can place ourselves behind him if there's space enough. Usually a lot of junctions there's space enough for two cars. So for example, if you're the third one, then you still have to wait behind the stop line. And mainly like what he did here, you're not allowed to turn blindly. If the visibility is not clear, then you have to wait for the signal. Now it's yellow where you start preparing yourself, and red you have to clear out. And still be looking at the oncoming traffic. You see a lot of people breaking the traffic lights up.
And the visibility was also poor.
The visibility is poor, and if the visibility is not clear, then you still have, we cannot just start moving a bit further and just go like the car did in front of you. was wrong. Then you still have to wait inside the middle until the visibility actually gets clear or the traffic lets up. Let's try with another left turn at the traffic light. Traffic light left. Here I would recommend you to turn into the left-hand track from the very beginning, so the traffic behind you doesn't start to move before you, and then you will have difficulties by making a lane change. Now while you're waiting, then focus on the junction here where your placement should be.
Yeah, so I'll position myself in the...
So you position
center.
yourself closer. If you can see the white dotted line over there,
That will go all the way closer.
you can take it a little bit further
Yes.
until here approximately. By getting close to the line, we are not getting in the lane of the oncoming traffic light now. But by getting close to the line here, your visibility will be much better. You will be able to see much more. And in case somebody else stops in front of you, it will give you a better view. So keep focusing on the oncoming.
Clear oncoming
Then you're
traffic.
gonna
There's no pedestrians crossings.
Yes, and still be looking straight. So you'll still be looking straight left, so you're looking both sides. Now we're gonna get through the airport area here. The examiner can also bring you to the area around here. Then we're gonna be coming a couple of roundabouts here. Let's start with the small roundabout. Let's take a second exit in the roundabout.
Sharply.
Your main focus should be on your left side.
Oncoming traffic. There's no. It's all clear. So just
And we're just gonna be entering.
second exit.
Yes, please. And I will recommend you to slow down a little bit. Yeah, get the right indicator here. Over shoulder, and then you can execute the task. By slowing down a bit, you will be having much more control over the car.
We can slow down the car.
Yeah, you can slow down a bit here. It's not like a complete stop, but slow down so you have more time to your orientation, placement, and the indicator. If you end up doing it too fastly, you might miss one or two things.
What is the recommended speed in the roundabouts?
Recommended speed would be in this small roundabout, keep it around 10 to 15 approximately. See, Arun, you're heading towards there's a bus stop on your right side. Keep looking on your right side here as well, over shoulder. This is a change of placement here. So when we are changing placement here, then we have to look on the right side over our shoulder as well, just to see that someone is not overtaking us from the right side. If there's no signboard here, the general speed limit is 50 in the area.
And in some places they mention it as 40, depending on.
Yeah, depending on, there might be a restriction if there's a 40 signboard or there's a 60 signboard, then we have to follow that.
So no signboard, then it's 50.
Then it's the general speed limit, which is understood thing. It's 50 in the area. Let's start with the bigger roundabout here, which we are approaching closer to. Let's take a second exit in the roundabout. Yes.
Sharply.
Yeah. Move a little ahead. More ahead, just to be checking on your left side. What you have to think is that you're not forcing anyone to stop here.
Yeah. Traffic is clear.
Here, and just use the right lane here.
Yeah.
For the first exit and the second exit, use the right lane. If it's a third exit, then use the left lane in the roundabout.
This is the first exit.
This is the first exit.
Then indicator
And
on.
then you can give the right indicator after passing the first exit.
Orientation.
And now you can see 2 lanes ahead of you. Use the rightmost one.
Oh.
Go shoulder. Generally, your placement should be at the right lane.
Okay. And why is that? Is it because
It's a general rule here in Denmark. We use the left lane for overtaking. We use the left lane if you want to take a left turn further ahead.
if in case we ended up on the left side of the lane, then you can still.
It's not a big issue. If you end up mistakenly on the left lane, then just simply make your orientation and come back to the right side.
I will change the lane, but I'll just follow the
Yeah, we're just gonna. And if someone else is driving slow, now you can see there's plenty of cars which is driving slow. Then you can also make a lane change over shoulder. Indicator is not compulsory. You can give it if you want.
Okay.
When we are taking a left or we are taking a right turn, then indicator is compulsory. Or if you want to make a lane change on the highway, then indicator is compulsory as well. One of the reasons we also made a lane change is because we are about to approach a roundabout further ahead, and in the roundabout we'll be taking the third exit.
Okay. Then it has to be in the.
Then it have to be from the left track.
Left, right. Left.
Yeah. There's plenty of traffic lights which is coming here. Just maintain your speed.
The camera's all over, so I think the moment I step out of the,
Yeah,
could be a miss.
could be. Yeah. Now slow down a bit, just so you have time enough to be looking on your left side.
Yeah. The vehicle approaching, but I.
Yeah.
So
He's already in the roundabout, so you have an absolute duty upon him.
yeah.
Just make sure that you're not forcing anyone to stop. And
Yes, let's do it.
then we can be continuing. He was already giving indicator and exiting the roundabout. It would be good idea to be counting the exit here, just to make it easier for
First
yourself.
exit.
You have the first one here,
And then the second exit is here,
then you have the second exit here,
and then now I turn on the.
and then you can
indicator.
give the right indicator after. And you can see there's a continuous line. Just follow along the line.
Oh.
Look over shoulder. It's slightly erased here, but just follow along the line so you end up in the left lane here. Second traffic light, we are turning left.
First traffic light is approaching now.
Yes, the first one is not allowed here. And after passing the traffic light, then you can give the left indicator. And if there is two lanes,
Yeah, two left.
then use the rightmost one.
Ah.
In your practical test, if you end up in the left one, just follow the other one. Don't usually try to come back. It will end up making a bigger mistake.
Follow the dotted lines there.
Yeah. Now you can see it's a green arrow.
Yeah.
What can you see ahead of you here?
Merger.
Merging, yeah. Now we're in the right lane. Then you have to look over shoulder on your left side, right before the lines are ending.
Yeah.
Let's take a left at the traffic light. Traffic light, turn left.
Okay.
So if you can,
So the side on the indicator.
then you can already give the indicator if there's no side roads. Make your orientation when you're going from a straight going lane into a left hand track. And right now there's not space enough for us inside the junction, so we are still waiting behind the stop line. Only if one of two of the cars moves out, then you can be entering if the traffic light is still green. And now we have to wait here because the signal change, and if the traffic light changed to yellow and you're able to stop, then you have to stop. But our speed was already slow here, so we are not driving that fast that we couldn't stop. So we're gonna be waiting for the next signal.